Video is going to be on how to change the spark plugs on a 1995 Toyota Carolla. The tools you'll need will be a 5/8 spark plug socket. I have a 12-inch extension. You can actually use a 10, but I like this one, and a 3/8 ratchet. You can do it any way you want to, but I generally take one spark plug out at a time and one spark plug wire. Okay, I have 4 spark plug wires. The set of spark plug wires I bought on eBay is JDM Speed. They were red. My car's red. I just like the color, so they had good feedback. I used the NGK spark plugs. See the model number there. I get the regular copper ones because I've had my ignition coil burn out a few times when I tried to use iridium or any other type. So it's best to go and just replace them every 30 to 40,000 miles because they're very easy to replace. When I take the wires out of the bag, I just find the longest one. There's this one right here. Make sure all your ends are meeting up, and take that one out. You can do this any kind of way you want to, but this is how I do it. I do it one plug at a time. Alright, now we'll remove the spark plug wire. You have clips on down here. You have to spread them apart and pull the plug wire off. I'm going to pull the plug out. You can pause it while I'm pulling the plug. The spark plug gap should be set at 32 thousandths in here. These have the covers on them so they can't get set offset. They're set at 32 from the factory where they're made. You have a rubber piece inside here. It'll hold on to the spark plug. Gently stick it down there. You don't want to bump the end of the electrodes. And hand start it. Make sure that it tightens down in pretty good ways before you try to use the ratchet on it. I've got about 5 or 6 turns now. Okay. After you torque the spark plug to 151 inch-pounds is what the manual says. I'll put my first spark plug wire on. You'll notice on the spark plug it has 2 ridges on each side and a clip on one side. Some of them will have clips on both sides that'll lock out. And make sure that it goes all the way in there. Shine the light, or you can see that the wire is all the way inside there. This clip is just to hold it to keep it from coming back out. Okay. Alright, and pull the next wire out. Got some oil in there. That camshaft still could be leaking. Notice that it had some oil on that plug wire there, so the camshaft seal where the distributor goes in is probably leaking. If you can see that oil in there. But anyway, we'll tackle that problem later. Alright, then I removed my number 2 spark plug. Okay, you can stop it. Alright, we're going to install the second plug. Always make sure that your little washer's right here, this little crush washer. That's what helps it seal and not vibrate out. You can gently stick it down there and get it started. Make sure that it's started real good. You do not want to strip a bolt out or you'll be taking the head off. I usually hand tighten it all the way down as far as I can. About 8 or 10 turns, and then I torque it again. The torque is 151 inch-pounds. That's not foot-pounds. If you put 151 foot-pounds on this thing, you're going to rip the threads out of the head, and you're going to have to get another head. All right, we torqued our second spark plug, and now always position this where it's headed back to the back of the motor and back that way. Make sure that it pushes all the way in. These are sealing really good. Okay. Go ahead. Alright, after removing the second one and placing the second plug in, we move to the third. Sometimes these things can be a bear to come off of there. If you shine the camera over here, you can my thumb, see? That's how it latches on. Take that off and it'll pop right out usually. Okay. Alright, then I remove my third plug, number 3 cylinder, because you start at the front. And you're looking for a firing order. If you just replace the cap, the numbers for the firing order are actually on the cap. So if you try to crank it up and it don't run right and you put a wire in the wrong place, you can look at the cap and it'll tell you which number cylinder that the wire is supposed to be on. And again, it's numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Then you install the third plug. Again, you want to gently put it in there. I want to show you something here on your, this is a spark plug socket. You notice it's a little different looking. It usually has where you can put a wrench on it. And there's a rubber O-ring inside there. You know, make sure that pushes all the way in because it holds it. See, you don't want to drop the plug in there because it'll mess up the gap. And you may have to buy another spark plug and you could drop a piece of it on top of the cylinder. And if it gets on top of the piston or in a valve, it can mess up the whole motor. Okay, again, you tighten this one down to 151 inch-pounds. That's inch-pounds, not foot-pounds. After putting the third plug in and torquing it to 151 inch-pounds, you put this next wire on. You push it down until it pops, and these right here go in that the little squares that are around there. I'll pull it back off and show you what I'm talking about. See how it's got a pattern there, the little square. Sometimes you'll hear a little click when it goes all the way down, but just make sure that it goes all the way down. Sometimes these little fixtures here do not line up correctly. If they don't, you can pull the wire all the way through like this right here and put it on there. Make sure your wire goes all the way in, and then you can push this back around and clip it. Then we move to our fourth plug. Again, pull up on the wire firmly. Now we're going to remove the fourth plug. Okay, then we insert the fourth plug. Then be gentle going down. Try to center up in the hole so you don't bend the little end on the spark plug. Okay, as we put on our last spark plug wire, we've already torqued the fourth one. Again, that's 151 inch-pounds. If you look in the bottom of the spark plug wire here, you can buy what you call dielectric. I can't remember the last name, but it's called dielectric. It's like a grease, and you can put it in there to make good contact, and it'll stop you from having like, if you get like a buzzing from when you turn your radio on, it'll stop that noise. I'm going to face this one this way so it'll make it a little shorter.